everyone, this is Robyn and welcome to my channel, mypinkstamper.com. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. I have a fun technique tutorial for you today. So some of the steps on this project I've already completed ahead of time, just so I can kind of focus on the technique. So we're going to be working with our Shimmery White Embossing Paste. And I'm also using some of our masks, and I'm going to make it a rainbow. So I'm going to do a really fun technique for you, like I just said. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm using the Hippo Happiness stamp set with the Hippo and Friends dies. This was a stamp set that I was fortunate enough to help design when I visited Stampin' Up! Headquarters for my $1 Million Achievement. So this was the one and only stamp set I'm able to design with Stampin' Up! So I thought I'd focus on it just a couple more times before the end of the catalog. All right, so we'll start with our stamping. I've already done this piece right here, and we're going to add this onto the card. This was embossed with our Versamark, our Whisper White embossing powder, and our heat tool. So I did that ahead of time because it takes a few minutes. And then I'm going to just do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to be stamping with this basic white cardstock. And I am going to be using the Hippo from this stamp set. Now I designed this stamp set so it was two-step stamping. So every image you don't have to color, although coloring is super fun, we all know that. I thought it would be nice to have a stamp set that you can just stamp a couple colors and be finished with the project. All right, so we're gonna put this on our Stamparatus foam mat. I like to start with the more intricate or the main part of the stamp first. This is stamped in the Melon Mambo ink. And now it's going to be easier when I stamp the solid image and stamp it off once on your background piece of paper. And then it's easier to line this up. This is actually my take 2. I did it wrong the first time. So it's so much easier to line that up. All right, so now I'm going to take this Tuxedo Black Memento and I'm going to stamp the cute little hippo smile. Now really quick, I'll go ahead and we'll cut this out with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Like I said earlier, I really want to just focus on the technique portion of this project, but I'd like to spotlight and show you our Stampin' Cut and Emboss if you're not familiar with cutting out dies. The dies that go with this stamp set have different, there's actually, I have quite a few sets here because I use them for my classes. There's quite a few sets of different shapes and items that you can use with different projects and different stamp sets and all sorts of fun things. I'm going to line that around there. And I've already done the other die cut work. I just wanted to show you that one. And then we can move on to the embossing paste portion. And now I have a cute little hippo, so I'm going to set that aside. All right, now all of our die cutting is done. I'm going to pull out our my paper. And so what we're going to do here is I am going to be taking one piece of paper and setting it aside. I'm going to put this piece of basic black cardstock. It's cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to put this mask over the top of it. But I'm going to tape it down. We don't want it moving. Okay, so now, I'll set that aside for a second. I'm going to, this is the fun part. I have one of our palette knives. And this is a brand new bottle of the embossing paste. And you don't want to keep it open because it will harden. And so I'm going to carefully take it like that. And when you're storing it, it's nice to put it in a tight Ziploc container just to keep it nice and fresh. Okay, so this one is nice and liquidy. So I'm going to make a couple piles. Now this is enough for me to do probably a couple projects. I'm going to do 4 piles. Okay, now I will also, when I am done filming this, I'll be making a couple other backgrounds so I don't waste it. Okay, and I always like to have either a wet paper towel or a wet wipe or something to just wipe it off right there. All right, we're gonna start with one of the colors. We're gonna start with our Reinker. This is Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to put a couple drops on that piece, and then I'll just mix it around like that. And I'm going to, you can make it as dark or as light as you want. Start with one drop and then go from there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and you're going to need a piece of paper to mask this off. So this is going to be the first section, and I want this to just be purple right here. Okay. Now the best way to do this is to kind of do this part and then let it kind of set up and then move on to the next part. Okay. And I have enough left over that I could do 1 or 2 more backgrounds. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to want to block that off, and you're going to be working with 2 at a time. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing, except now I'm going to grab my Melon Mambo Reinker. I'll do that on the next drop. Just do 2. Mix it around off camera or on camera, whichever. And this is kind of fun and messy. It's like making frosting. Okay, so now I have the second one, and I am going to, now you could tape that down if you don't want them to move. I'm going to grab my, there we go. I got my second area done. I can pull that one up, and I can pull this one up. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the next portion. I'm going to block it off. Okay, the next color I'm going to do is Bermuda Bay. So I will get this next one around. This video is not too long, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to have to cut it out. Sometimes I cut out quite a bit, but this is a technique video, so we know that they take longer. And it's just fun to be a part of this process. I'm not going to speed up a lot of it because why watch a video if it's all going to be sped up, right? Especially on my YouTube channel. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to block this off and keep about this much for the last color. And then we'll just slowly, isn't this so pretty? This is probably my favorite color with the, so gorgeous, it's so pretty. So that was the Bermuda, and then I'll just scrape off as much as I want. Some of it might be a little bumpy, and that's okay. Okay, so now I have the third one done. Okay, we're on to our last color, and it is Granny Apple Green. I'm gonna mix it around. Woo! And I gotta sing a song. Woo! Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm just going to push this down and just make sure that's all on there in a row. All right. Now what I can do, I'm done with all of those. I'm going to set these aside for my other background. And I'm just going to take this across and scrape all of it. Okay, now we have to take this off because we don't want it to get hard. On here, we need to go clean off our mask in between. And you guys ready for it? Look at how gorgeous. Look at how beautiful. It started to get a little hard on the first part, but that's okay. There we go. It's so gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside and I'm gonna go clean off my mask. Okay, it's time to finish this adorable card. And we'll go ahead and start with this layer that we just did this super cute technique on. I'm going to take a piece of our Melon Mambo cardstock. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to run our Seal Plus along the whole outside edge of the paper that we use the embossing paste on. And I think I'm going to put a little in the center just to make sure it really sticks down. Okay, isn't this so pretty? I love it so much. All right, and I was using our Seal Plus adhesive. Okay, I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to fold this card base. This is a piece of our Coastal Cabana cardstock. It's cut at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 inches. I'm just going to fold this in half. And I am going to just run some of our adhesive on the back of that as well. And put this on here. And now I'm going to layer up. Now I already ahead of time, I cut these 3 pieces here from the Hippo and Friends dies as well. So I'm going to take the adhesive on, this is the gorgeous Grape, and I'm going to add it onto, this is our Vellum Cardstock. And I'll just add that on here. They nest within each other. And then I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take my cute Hippo, and I am going to grab 2 of our Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put that on a piece of this basic black cardstock. Like that just makes the Hippo pop. And now I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to also pop this up with our dimensionals. Take all 4 backs off, throw it in my garbage or on the floor, but really it was in my garbage this time, I promise. Okay, now I'm going to turn this over and turn this other piece over that I did ahead of time, and I'm going to add dimensionals to both of these. I think I'll do 3 on this piece here. And I'll remove the back. We have a super long video tutorial for you today. Hope you enjoy it. Super long, longer than my normal ones. Okay, so we're going to add this on here. Look at how beautiful that is. And then I'm going to add this here, down here, Hippo birthday. Now, for a fun, I did another project. So a different variation was this Hippo birthday piece. I actually just cut little strips of cardstock to give you just another idea. So I hope you enjoyed today's video tutorial. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. I love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. And you can find me more of my video tutorials and weekly giveaways on my website, mypinkstamper.com. You can find everything you saw today in this video directly on my shopping page, shopmypinkstamper.com. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.